Hi, I'm Scott, Machine Gun Dad. I must admit I have an affliction. I have a cougar affliction. I bought another Stoeger Cougar. Chris at Marksman TV was able to find this for me. He's actually found 2 out of the 3 I own. This is probably going to be my last one for a while because, you know, summer's coming and money's got to go otherwhere. It's 45. It looks like it's in good shape. I got 3 magazines with it, 8 rounds. It's called an FS. I think it's an FS. Let me look here. And actually said this one said the FT. So when I got it, it didn't run. It was bone dry. Out of the first 24 rounds, I had 9 failures. What it was doing was when the round would try to feed into it and the round goes up and spins that last little bit, the extractor would drag on the rim. I thought I had a bad gun or whatever. So I watched a bunch of other videos and I saw this in 45. Now my 9s and 40s never did that. But in 45, other people posted the same type of jam on their channels. So what I did was I cleaned it. First of all, I discovered that there was a lot of carbon built up where it shouldn't have been, under the extractor for one, and in a little bit we'll do a close-up and I'll show you where another place that was heavily carboned. In addition, the extractor was binding a little bit. There was carbon in the extractor, so I lubed that up. So I took it out and I ran it with a Winchester white box, and I had 1 failure out of 60 rounds. And then I took it out and shot Barnell out of it, and I had no failures out of 70 some rounds. So I went back to brass and I started having a few more failures. So I got in there with a wrench and worked on the extractor, just loosening it up. And so far I've had 7 magazines with brass with 1 failure since then, and it was simply you just tapped it and went right back into battery. Now when I started it and it jammed, you had to clear the gun. You could not tap it and get it in the battery. So when I shoot it for you here later, and Stan shoots it, we'll see if he has the same problem. And I want to get Stan's impression of it. I'm also going to let him shoot the 40, which he hasn't shot. I'm sorry, yeah, the 40, which he hasn't shot, and we'll do a little comparison at the end. Stand by for a close-up. Zoomed in, I'm holding the slide up so you can see it, and no YouTube, I'm not modifying guns. Right here, I'm going to stick this screwdriver in through the ejection port. You'll see there's 2 different colors, like a dull and a shiny. A dull and a shiny. Where that dull was completely carboned up. I had to scrape it out with this little screwdriver. The round was dragging on that, and that improved my reliability dramatically. So if you have one of these, especially in 45, because the 9s and the 40s don't seem to do it, you want to make sure that this little rim right here is scraped clean. Now I'm going to roll it over. Right here's your extractor. When I got it, I could not pass a screwdriver like that through it. Right here's your extractor. I don't know if that's going to show up. But I couldn't even push a screwdriver under it. There was so much carbon built up. So anyway, we'll be out in the range in a second. we'll be inside. We're back inside. We were outside. Stan shot the 40 and the 45. I'm not going to include the 40 shooting because you've seen that before, but it jammed on him. One failure to eject, but again, we're using a hodgepodge ammo. The gun has been 100% reliable till today. As you'll see in the video, however, the 45 was 100% reliable. So what did you think, Stan?
Oh, I was very pleased with it. 45 here, I kind of prefer it. Bigger grip, a little more squared. It's something more I used to. Like my preference at this point for shooting a pistol is pretty much, shoot Glocks almost exclusively up until now after I got out. So pretty much a brick covered in sandpaper kinds of is more my speed. I like that. It seemed to be, I preferred the recoil impulse of the 45 caliber a little more. It seemed to be a little bit slower and smoother than a lot of other 45 pistols, like say a 1911 or whatever. I think that'd be an interesting comparison to run this side by side with some other 45s. Yeah, they're both nice pistols though. Both nice pistols. I like them both very much, but between the two, I think the 45 was the better one.
Alright, for me, the 45 wasn't it because first of all, I had to spend 200 rounds getting it to run because of the previous owner's lack of maintenance. It ran good, but there is a noticeable difference in the size, and to me, like Stan says, this is big and bulky. This, however, this and the 9 fit my hand. Now, if you want a Cougar and you have your heart set on a 45, you're going to get a good gun. I, however, because of the way I shoot and everything, would prefer a 40 or a 9. As I said, we're not really teaching anything. It's just our personal opinions. And if you watch the video real quick, where Stan is shooting, the first 8 rounds were steel case, right?
Yes.
And then the second 8 rounds were old lead cast reloads or remanufactured. I don't reload. And you'll see a huge amount of puffs of smoke coming off the lead, just to show you that they run with different guns. Once you get them clean and properly maintained, they will run. Thanks again for coming to the channel.